And, you know, I do everything I can to try to be cool. Hey folks, it's John with KGTropicals.com. Really excited to try something new today. I want to see what you think of it. If you like it, I'll keep doing it. And if it's something that doesn't go well, then I'll go back to doing things the way I was doing before. But what I want to do is take everything that I do and combine that into one video each week. Now, don't get scared. I'm not saying I'm just going to go down to one video a week. Lately, that's all I've been doing anyway. But I'm going to have other things. I'm going to have other things that I'm working on that I'll document on video, like my saltwater tank, and there's some other big things that are happening, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I'll have those videos, but I want to do a video each week. I don't know what you want to call it. You can't really call it a vlog, because to me, a vlog is something where, you know, you're traveling around with somebody like Joey does, which he does really well. That's not really what I'm going to be doing. It's going to be more, I don't know, kind of everything into one. Like I said, very laid back, easy going, not a lot of editing, just kind of a free flow, little relaxed video each week. And hopefully it's going to be something that you like. I'm going to have a outline each week of exactly what I want to include into each episode. And so in the beginning of each episode, I'm going to kind of update you on things that I've got going on. I get so many comments, like recently, you know, what's going on with the saltwater tank? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? I can address those in the beginning of each video. Kind of sounds a little bit like how the Tank Talk podcast was, doesn't it? And then we will get into the KG Q&A section of the video, where I'll answer your questions that require some explanation and, you know, maybe go in depth with some of the things. And then I want to get into each week a kind of a rapid fire segment where it's boom, 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 quick questions, comments, things that I think are funny. Of course, all of this is going to be fish keeping related, folks. I'm not going to start getting into personal stuff and all that, but it's all going to be fish keeping on my KG Tropicals channel. Quick comments, things that are silly or funny or whatever, that don't require a lengthy response. Quick things, you know, it'll be fun. Each week, I also want to talk about products that I'm using. Now, these aren't sponsored products. Nobody's paying me to talk about these, but they might be something that I'm doing, that I'm using, that's working well for me, and I'll talk to you about it. Today, I've got two that I'm going to talk to you about. And then I want to do a couple of fun things. One would be my comment of the week. Again, you see how this is all connecting? I'll pick a comment. Usually it's going to be funny, or it's going to be somebody that acted like a jerk or whatever it is. And I'll have a little bit of fun with that, just like I used to do in the beginning of Tank Talk videos. And then I'm going to do something that I've never really done on this channel. I think I might have just lied to you. I might have done it one time, like 3 years ago. I don't even know if that video is still up anymore. I don't know. But I want to do a shout out each week. It's going to come more towards the end of each week, where I'm going to tell you about somebody. It could be somebody on Instagram. It could be somebody that just has a really nice website, or another YouTube channel, or somebody that's really active on Facebook, whatever it is. Again, fish keeping related. Somebody that I think you should know about and you should check into. Now, today's shout out is going to be just a completely unsolicited. I just picked it out and there it is. But if you have somebody that you feel like is contributing to the fish keeping community in a big way, send it to me. KGTropicals@gmail.com. In these videos, you're going to see a couple of different email addresses. Really, any of these things that I ask for, you can send to either of the email addresses. It all comes to the same computer. But KGTropicals@gmail.com. If you have somebody that you think should be shouted out, send it to me. Don't send me a request to shout yourself out, because I'm not going to do that. But if you have somebody that you think is really contributing in a big way to the community that deserves to be shouted out, I'll do it. I think it's going to be fun, and I think it's just another one of those kind of community building type things. So every single week, that's what we're going to do. Updates, answering questions, rapid fire, quick little stuff, talk to you about the products that I think you should know about. Then I'm going to get into comment of the week, and then I'm going to get into shout outs. So I think it's going to be fun. I don't know how long these videos are going to be. You know I like to run my mouth, but I'll try to keep them manageable, but let's see how it goes. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get right into now talking about what I've got going on here. Okay, the first thing I want to update you on is the Fluval M60 complete setup saltwater tank that I did a couple of videos on back about a month ago. I know it's been a while since I've updated you on that, but I needed to pick up a couple of things, and I was just finally able to go ahead and do that. So I'm in the process right now of recording the next video in that series. It's going to be unboxing the rest of the stuff that came with the system, putting it all together, putting the substrate in, which is one of the things that I had to go and get, and getting it full of water. Now, there's been a lot of people that have suggested that I use RO water to get my saltwater tank set up. It's great advice. It's something that I've heard so many times. It's absolutely crazy, but it's just not something that I can do right now. So I'm going to use my regular old tap water here and treat it and put the salt in it and all that. I think it's important to do that because it'll give me experience on how to prepare the water for that tank. So, you know, taking care of the chlorine and the chloramine and getting it salty. I don't know how you saltwater people can help me with the correct terminology here, but getting the salt in it, getting it to the right mixture and all that, I think it's important that I learn how to do that. I know I would learn how to do that with RO water too, but I want to use this in a practical setting. I don't have a reverse osmosis system. I used to have one, but I don't have it anymore. So I'm going to use my tap water, get that ready, and get it all ready to go, and get the tank running. And I'm excited about it. Can't wait. So then I'm going to probably ask you for what you think I should put in the tank. I do have some live rock already that I've just kind of accumulated through the years that I'm going to put in there to get things started. Lisa is kind of partial to clownfish, and I really like them too. I like the tanks that you see that are just full of this huge colony, I don't know what you call them in the saltwater world, of clownfish. I think that's really cool, but I know that they're like African cichlids and they're aggressive, so I don't know if we can do that, but I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet. Obviously it's a small tank, so there's only so many things that I can put in there, but I'm not really interested. I know people are going to probably be upset with me for saying this, but I'm not really interested in starting with an elaborate reef. I'm not there yet. I mean, that's not something that I'm capable of yet. I'm going to start out with fish and then maybe start introducing corals, you know, maybe one by one as we go. I don't know. I was walking through Petco the other day and saw a couple of really cool ones. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But probably just going to start out with fish because I want to get the hang of being able to take care of the water before I start killing a bunch of stuff. So that's the update on that. That is coming very soon. Like I said, I'm in the process of recording it right now. You can expect it hopefully this weekend, if not maybe the first of next week. Next thing to talk about is one of the biggest things to happen to KGTropicals in a very, very long time. And I was hesitant to bring it up because it is still a bit down the road before it's actually going to happen. But this is huge. And it's not only big for me, but it's also going to be big for you. It's something that we can work together on, and I think it's going to be really cool. Lisa and I, KGTropicals, we are becoming a retailer for customaquariums.com. Now, you've probably seen a couple of videos. I know Joey did one, Sean Peck did one about customaquariums.com and all the unbelievable things that they do. Well, I'm going to take that a step further. I'm actually going to have one of their tanks in here in the studio, and it's huge, folks. This is a big one. They're manufacturing it for me right now, and then they're going to be sending it out to me. It's a 240 gallon. Yay! Now, it's not the same type of 240 that I had before. If you remember way back, well, it wasn't way back. I mean, I got rid of it, I guess, about a year ago. I had an 8 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot African cichlid tank, and it was the main focal point in almost all of my videos for a really long time. It's not that size. This one is actually a 7 foot, 240 gallon tank. So I don't remember the exact measurements for it. Trust me, you will see videos about it. But it's a 7 foot 240. It's going to have their custom made stand with canopy, their fully customizable sump system that's going in it. Remember I mentioned something about getting a tank with a sump? Unbelievable. I mean, this thing is absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to put right here a clip of Sean's video that he did when we were in Chicago about customaquariums.com, and the tank that I'm getting is very similar to the tank that you will see in that video. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll go ahead and make that an annotation so you can go watch that. It was he did a really good job on that video. So not only am I getting the tank in here, but I'm also going to be a retailer for them. So I will be able to sell you their tanks. Now, I'm not keeping a stock of them here. It's basically you will go through me to get your tank from customaquariums.com. And the way it'll be done is you contact me, you're interested in one, we will work together to get you the setup that's going to work right for you. So a lot of interaction between us will get you set up with exactly what you need. They make everything, folks. They make their own sump systems. They don't buy these and just put them in. These are everything that you see that they have, they make. So really exciting. What you can expect next will be a video, and it's going to be a bit because I think we're still probably 6 weeks away from me actually receiving the tank. So in the build up to that, in the lead to that, or the lead up to that, I'm going to be doing a video all about custom aquariums and my relationship with them. And I'm going to go into the thought process of why I selected the tank that I did from them and all of the things that come along with it. And just give you an idea of what the process was like working with them and what it's going to be like working with me on that. So really cool, really excited to be doing that. I will do a video of the tank being delivered, unboxing of the crate, uncrating, I guess it would be a more appropriate way of saying it, bringing the tank into here, getting it all set up. They're even sending me a cutout of the sump system. It's basically their sump system sliced in half so that I can show you exactly everything that goes into these sump systems that they manufacture right there at customaquariums.com. It's going to be so cool, and I can't wait. I mean, this is this is the tank of a lifetime that's coming to me, folks. I mean, it is the dream tank, and I think I'm even going to name the series that I'm going to be doing on it, John Gets His Dream Tank, or the Dream Tank, or something. I don't know. But this is literally a dream setup that's coming to us. And I think it's probably going to go right there. And I think it's going to serve as the primary backdrop. Why wouldn't it? I mean, it's going to be mammoth. It's going to be gorgeous. It has to be in every single video. Now, there's going to be a lot going on when that tank comes in here. We're going to have to find something to do with all of these. We're going to be moving things around. I'm going to show you all of that on video. So that is going to be huge. It's probably going to be, you know, spring-ish, mid-spring before it gets here. But when it does, buckle up because it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to tell you and show you everything about it. Last thing I want to talk about real quick in the updates is not really an update. It's more of a explanation, and that is about the podcast. So many people have asked me about the podcast, and unfortunately, folks, it's just something that I just haven't been able to do, and we had to put it on hold for a while. I apologize about that. There's been so many people that have been so sad that I'm not doing it anymore, and that means a lot to me that you liked it that much, but unfortunately, there's just so many hours in the day, and it really does take a long time to record those episodes. So unfortunately, I had to put it on hold. Maybe someday I will bring it back. And what I'd love to do is have a co-host. That would be something that would be a lot of fun. Be easier to be creative that way. I'm not having to come up with everything off the top of my head to talk about on the podcast. Be nice to have a co-host on there. I don't know if it's something that's ever going to happen. We'll have to see. But I really did enjoy doing it, but I did have to put it on hold. Sorry, maybe it'll come back again, but I don't know. So all the questions today come from the comment section from my YouTube videos. Now if you want to see your question get answered, you can do it a couple of different ways. You can put it in the comment section of this video, or any of my videos for that matter. You can send it to kgqa@gmail.com. You can join the Tank Talk Facebook group. I'll put the link at the very top of the description. I do go through Facebook, see if I can find interesting things that might make it to a KG Q&A video, or actually one of these videos now. I go all over looking for comments, but it just so happens, not comments, but questions, it just so happens that all of today's questions come from comments from YouTube. So let's get right into the first one. First question today comes from someone that I'm I'm not going to try to say the name. It's some silly name. Joey Boy, I think is what he's going for with his name on YouTube. But the question is, hello, KGTropicals. First off, great videos, podcasts, very informative, especially for people like me, which brings me to ask a simple question. What do the terms aquarist, hobbyist, fish keepers, etc. mean in terms of level of difficulty, maintenance, or of maintenance, years of experience, number of tanks, size of equipment, etc.? So I'll know what I am. Thanks, KGT. So as soon as I read this question, I knew that this had to be something that I had to talk about, because you hear these different titles thrown out there all the time. Some of them sound more official than others, and it warrants an explanation of what these different titles mean. So I'm going to give you my opinion on these. There might be people that disagree with me on it, and that's fine. We're still friends. We might not agree, but we can still be friends. But to me, we all fall under the umbrella of fish keepers. I don't care if you're somebody who keeps one beta and that's it. You have a beta on your desk at work. You're a fish keeper because you're keeping that fish and you're doing what needs to be done to keep that fish. You're feeding it. You're making sure its water's clean. I hope you're doing that. So you're a fish keeper. I don't care what you're keeping it. I don't care if you're somebody that has a pond in your front yard or your backyard that you keep goldfish or koi. You're a fish keeper too. So anybody who keeps fish in a glass box or in a pond or water, period, you are a fish keeper. Now, when you get into the comparison of aquarist versus hobbyist, that's where things can get a little bit more tricky, because there's going to be people that are going to look at the title aquarist as something that's more professional and you've been doing this longer. I don't agree with it. I look at aquarist and hobbyist as the exact same thing. You are both people who have taken fish keeping to the next level. You're not just keeping a fish in the corner because it's cute. You're actually living and breathing these fish tanks. You're wanting to improve your fish's lifestyle. You're wanting to make sure that you're doing the right thing. You're keeping your tank clean. You're providing that fish with a food that you think is the best food and the best filtration and all this. You go to bed at night thinking about your fish. You wake up and the first thing you do is check on your fish. You're someone who is beyond just a fish keeper. This is something that you're passionate about. You are a hobbyist. You are also an aquarist because your hobby is water related, aqua related, aquarium related. You are an aquarist. I don't see someone who labels themselves an aquarist as being any more authoritative or any more involved in this hobby than someone who would label themselves as a hobbyist. So now, if you were to ask me, I would tell you I'm a fish keeper, because whenever you end something in ist, for some reason I get this idea, it sounds like scientist, and I'm not a scientist. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a marine bio. I'm just a guy who keeps fish in glass boxes, and I go on YouTube and I talk about it. So I'm a fish keeper. That's how I label it. So Joey Boy, I would not get caught up in titles. If you want to call yourself an aquarist, do it. If you want to call yourself a hobbyist, do that too. But we're all fish keepers, so keep it simple. I mean, to me, fish keeper, I don't know why. Fish keeper just sounds cooler. It just sounds more like I'm a fish keeper. Monster fish keeper. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just sounds more cool. And, you know, I do everything I can to try to be cool. So the next comment or question comes from Aquanut. This was put onto a YouTube video. He says, I noticed the flipper in the background. I would like to hear your thought on it, John. I was looking at getting one. So kind of a combination of answering a question and talking about a product at the same time. Now, Flipper has not paid me or anything like that, but they did send me a few of these to demo and possibly talk about in a video. So here we are. I was going to do a video exclusively about it, but I just haven't done it. I've got a lot of footage, which I'm going to play for you while I'm talking about it, of me using it and learning how to flip it. But it's a really cool device. I mean, I've been using it. They sent me 3 of them. It's like a tiny one, and then this one, and then the big giant one, which it's on the discus tank, so you can't see it. But the giant one is unbelievable. I mean, I've been using it in the 125. So this is something you've seen before. Algae scrapers, magnetized algae scrapers that you ride along the glass and it clears off the algae. But where this one's different is that, I'm going to put this up here close so you can see it. It's got one side of the pad that has a razor blade on it. I'm trying to get my bearings straight. See that? And it's not a razor blade. I mean, but it's a scraper. So the cool thing about it is you can use that side of the pad for more troublesome areas, that real thick green algae if you have that buildup. You can use that to scrape it off, or at the top of your tank, if you get that buildup of the white buildup junk on there, you can use that to scrape it off. It's really cool. And the other cool thing about it is the name and what the name implies. I'm going to be showing you right now demonstrations of me doing the whole flip thing on it. It's something that took a little bit of practice, I'm going to be honest, and at first I was like, this is just dumb. I mean, I can't figure out how to do it. They're saying it flips and I couldn't figure it out. But it was me. It wasn't the product. It was me that was doing it wrong. I had to practice with it, and it's one of those things I just wouldn't let it beat me. I had to be able to figure out how to do it. So I practiced, and I got the hang of it. And once you do get the hang of it, it's very easy, and you actually realize you should have been able to get the hang of it right away, because it's really not hard at all to do. You don't have to get your hands wet to flip it from the spongy side, which is going to clean off the easy spots, to the scraper side for the more troublesome areas. You just pull it off the glass, rotate it, put it up against it, move it. You'll see in the demo. It's very easy to do, and it flips it around, and you can use the scraper to scrape those more troublesome areas. Really cool idea. Like I said, at first I didn't think it was going to be all that great, but once I got the hang of it, it's a really nice little algae scraper. If you use these kind of things, it's great. Now for me, what I do, I use it on the sides and on the front of the tank, and I'll even take the pad off of the magnet and I'll use it on the back of my tanks, the ones that don't have backgrounds. So all around, I use it throughout the entire tank, and it works really well. Kudos to the people that came up with this. It's a really cool product. Show it to you up close here. This is what it looks like. This is what you saw in the background of my videos. This is the medium-sized one. Like I said, they sent me a small one too. I have no idea where it is. I think it might be on my tank upstairs. And then the really big one. Now, the one thing that I will caution you on, especially if you're someone that's going to get the big one, the magnets on that thing are ridiculously strong. And I've had it where one way or another you're pulling it apart and you get your finger in there and boom, it shuts on your finger. Trust me, it'll knock you right off your feet. I mean, it is strong. And if it pinches your fingers in there, it can hurt. So beware of that. Be careful when you're handling it. Even the small ones, I mean, their magnets are really powerful, so you have to be careful about that. But all in all, I really do like the product. They're not paying me to talk about this product. They did, however, send it to me, and I think they sent it to a few YouTubers. They did send it to me for free to talk about, so there we are. I like the product, and I don't only like it because they sent it to me for free, okay? I really do like it, and it works well, and so there you go. Flipper is definitely something that I would recommend to you. It's nice to have, you can quickly do a little spot cleaning. If you got friends coming over or something and you want to swipe it across real quick, it holds up really well and it cleans the inside of your glass really well. So I would definitely recommend it. Okay, so the last one, this is another one that's kind of about a product. Let me grab it. Nemo Hose says, where do you get those awesome stuffed Plecos? Nemo Hose is talking about this, along with that one, and I've got a whole bunch of these. I actually talked about these a long time ago, but it's probably one of the most common questions that I get on my videos is, what's that in the background? I've had a couple people say that thinking it's real, they don't realize it's on the outside of the glass. Really cute. So these are from a company called greenpleco.com. They're adorable. I mean, they have a little suction cup on them. You see that? And it sticks to the outside of your tank. Don't put them inside the tank. Goes on the outside of the tank. Suction cup sticks really well. And they're really cute. I mean, you can see, got the gold nugget and the white one. Whatever that white one's called. I don't know what all these are called. They're all zebra to me, but really cute. Very well made. and they stick to the tank and it looks cute. And if you're doing YouTube videos, you put them on your tank, everybody will ask you about them. So, but greenpleco.com, I got these, it must have been a year ago. Another one, just like the flipper, the guy emailed me and said, hey, can I send you some of these? And I said, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody no. So I've talked about them in a couple of videos. I think I talked about them in the podcast a couple times. So, you know, there you go. Really cute. They've got a whole bunch of different ones. So now I want to move on to the next segment here, and that would be the rapid fire. I don't know if I'm going to end up changing the name of this, but I want to go through just a few questions that are bing, bang, boom, quick, easy, don't need a long explanation. We'll do this every week. I'll pick 4 or 5 of them, and we'll have some fun with it. And some of them will be silly, that we can just make fun of the people or whatever. So, okay, so the first one, Jeff K says, can I put a red-tailed catfish in with my solusai? That's how I say it, solusai. I have a 125-gallon tank, so I think it should be big enough for the red tail. I'm just going to answer this question by showing you something. Next question comes from Mike Scully. It was put on my FX6 video that I did a long time ago, and he puts it in all caps. He's yelling at me. I am running 2 of each, FX5s, FX6s. They're the same, other than color. One no better than the other, bro. Did I say the FX6 was? I don't know that I said that the FX6 was. I agree. You're right. So what's your point? Next one comes from Kalpa Gogoy. The question is, hey, how to identify male and female green terror, please give replay. Hey, how to identify male and female green terror, please give replay. Please give replay. Give replay. Replay. So the next question comes from Conman 20,000. Or is it 200? No, it's 20,000. Are you trying to trick me, Conman? Question is, hey man, I'm thinking of making a tank for freshwater fish like bass and perch. Any suggestions? Yeah, the first suggestion I would give you is don't, because they're slobs and they get giant. I mean, you need a gigantic tank. Plus, I don't think it's right to do it, because you're going to be pulling them out of their natural environment where they have all kinds of room, and you're going to be putting them in a little glass box. I just think that's me. So, but I'm a softie. That's the way I am. I wouldn't do it, but you know, if you are going to do it, it needs to be huge. I mean, you see how big bass get and perch. I mean, come on, they get huge. So I understand why you want to do it. A lot of people do that. I had a friend do that. He kept bluegill. Bluegill are gorgeous, and he had a whole bunch of bluegill in his tank. It was really nice, and he might have even had a bass in there too. I don't know, but they get so big, it's like, why even do it? So if you're going to do it, go huge, but I probably wouldn't do it. And I hope you're not trying to trick me. So the next thing we're going to get into here is comment of the week. And this week I've only got one, and it's a big one. But I'm going to pick 1 or 2 each week it's just my favorite comment. It's not going to be comments praising me. Usually it's going to be somebody that's acting like a jerk, and I just want to act like a jerk right back to them. Or it might be somebody that just said something completely outrageous or whatever it is. This is where we will have a little bit of fun. So this question, or this comment, comes from Marty Lynchian. And it says, lean to read, asshole. So now it's time to get into today's shout out. I'm going to pick somebody every single week that I think deserves to be shouted out in these videos. Hopefully you stick around long enough to get it each week, because I'm going to tell you about somebody that is contributing in a big way, somebody that I think you can get something from. And so if it's a YouTube channel, it's somebody that you should go and subscribe to. If it's a Facebook group, whatever it is, you should become a part of that if you want to get more knowledge and be a part of what this person's doing. Now, if you have somebody that you want to see shouted out by me in these videos, send it to me at KGTropicals@gmail.com, or mention it in a post on the Facebook group, Tank Talk Facebook group. Just tag me in it so that I know, because I can't read every single post that's put up. Or you can put it in the comments of these videos, however you want to do it. KGQ&A@gmail.com. Any way you send it, I will see it, if you think that there's somebody that deserves to be shouted out. The only rule is going to be, don't try to get me to shout you out, because that's just weird for asking us shout out for yourself. I don't know. That's just weird. But today's shout out to me was an absolute no-brainer, because I see this guy everywhere, all over the place. He has a YouTube channel that is primarily about discus and rams, and he does a very good job in his videos. It's not a huge channel, but he's got really good stuff on there. But what I really love about this guy is how much he participates with everyone else's videos. I see him comment on all over the place. I mean, he's just all over. You can't go anywhere online without seeing him. And I'm talking about Scuba Steve. Now, his channel, I'm looking at it right now. He's got a lot of videos, but he's only got 889 subscribers, and that's absolutely unacceptable when you consider how much this guy contributes to the hobby. He comments on every single one of my videos, and sometimes he even comments on things that I talk about at the very end. So I know he's watching the whole thing, and that really does mean a lot, but that's not the only reason why I'm shouting him out. So don't everybody start commenting on my videos thinking that's going to earn you a shout out. No, he's been doing this for a long time. Scuba Steve is one of those names that pops up all the time and has been popping up for a long time. So he absolutely deserves the shout out for not only his YouTube channel, which has a lot of great information about discus and rams, but also for what he contributes to the community. He is a great resource. You should absolutely check him out. And every time I see his name, it reminds me of Big Daddy. So that's cute. So Scuba Steve, you are shouted out, my friend. You deserve it. Thank you for doing what you do. So there you go. Again, if you have somebody that you want to get shouted out, just let me know.
Because if you want to be a member of the Scuba Squad, you have to be smart.
I could be in the Scuba Squad?
Well, sure. All you have to do is work hard.
So there you go. There is the first episode of this new format. I hope it's something that you enjoyed. I certainly did enjoy making it. I think this is going to be so much fun. This is how, to me, this is my comfort zone, is just talking. That's what I really enjoy doing. And doing this kind of format, like I said in the beginning, is just kind of bringing everything together into one. And I think it's going to be something that's going to be a lot of fun. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you like this format, if you think that there's something I should add to it, definitely let me know. I mean, I can go all day. So I'd like to keep these videos, I don't want them to get completely out of control as far as how long they are. They probably won't be as long as this episode because I've done a lot of explaining what I'm doing in this episode. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know how long they're going to be, but they probably won't be as long as this one. I'm not going to really set any time limits for them, but I think it's going to be a good time. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, if you want to see me address your questions, put them in the comment section, send it to kgqa@gmail.com, join the Facebook group, put your questions in there. I'm going to be going all over and getting these comments and questions, so don't hesitate. Put them in now. You might see your question answered next week. You never know. So thank you again so much for watching, and I look forward to doing this again next week.